Hi guys, it's Svein on the SRS channel back again, and I can't seem to let go of this shelf idea that I have, so I thought I'd just walk you through the entire thing and show you how everything is planned but not completely executed. Let me go freehand here for a moment. And let's talk about the core of the thing itself first. I've opened the curtains for some better lights there, but yeah. That is the storage unit I'm using, and I can't for the life of me remember what this shelf unit is called, but everything is sort of flexible metal. If you put some elbow grease into it, you can probably squeeze these with your bare hands. But yeah, as I said, they're metal. No screws or glue or anything is required to assemble this shelf, and it's all basically just the hooks and stuff. You can adjust the height of the shelves, but this is the core product. I'm using the two lower shelves and the top shelf for storing materials. But yeah, every shelf has this wooden plate thing. It's not what the fuck was that? Oh, forget about it. It's not solid wood. It's like compressed wood fibers. I'm not sure what you call this type of wood panels in English, but yeah. That's the shelf unit, or the shelves. For the top shelf, I'm gonna show you in a second. It lays on the top here, and under it I have measured up and centered 8 of these LED sticks. The reason why I'm using these LED sticks is because I can shut off the light in one section separate from the rest of the shelf space. I'm not sure if you've seen this before. It's these Osram LED sticks, even trademarked. They have this button on the end, on one of the ends, with the 4 bright LED lights. There's a magnet in the other end, and there's a magnet in the base itself, which allows you to have them standing up like this. You can rotate them, or you can just leave them in like this, and you can still rotate them. Now the armature, or this plastic casing, is fixed to this one position, but you can easily just give them a twist to release the piece. It's attached by these 3 hooks. Now, if you notice, I'm gonna remove one more. I've set them up in a certain way. They're all pointing with one of these hooks out and 2 of the hooks inwards to the plate. And this is for a reason, because instead of just mounting them completely random. I had to have some sort of what should I call it? There's supposed to be a reason why they are mounted like they are, because I can release one and I can turn it around, and let me see if I can get this right, and I can snap it back in place. Now I can move this LED stick like so, giving me a third option on how I want my setup. So here you basically have you have the diagonal, you have the standing up, and you have the straight variation. I can flip each and every of these 8 LED sticks as I sort of want, but there is a limit to how I can turn it this way and move the stick up like so to a 45-degree angle, and I can do this with every single LED stick. Now I'm going to screw it, I'll deal with it later. I'm going to mount this plate back in the shelf unit and we'll move along. Hold on a second. And yeah, top shelf is mounted back. You see the lights, badly out of focus, but yeah, they're up there. Every single LED stick is mounted with either the power switch facing towards me or to the left or right, depending on which side you're looking at. All the LED sticks on the left side have the switches to the left and vice versa. Now I'm gonna put this back on the tripod here. Now I'll turn on this part you've seen before and turn on all 8 of the LED sticks, and as you can see, they light up the unit pretty well actually. Next up are these metal sheets. Going hands-free again. I have one sheet at both sides and one in the back. There's a little bit of gap on the right side compared to the left side, but yeah. This back metal sheet there was a little bit too wide, so it kept bending under the pressure of the sides, so I had to cut off a few millimeters. But yeah, and as you know, the intention here is using magnets, and there it is. I showed it to a few people, the prototype, to put it that way. I'm calling it a prototype now because I found some new materials to use. But I just give it a cut there and I mount the whole thing up. It's basically a bunch of these panels that I've made that stick to the wall. So give me a second I arrange the space and I give you a look. Okay, here we are back again. I quickly thrown up the pieces here. Okay, hold on a second. And yeah, let's go freehand for a second. Now, this ID that seemed so fantastic to begin with turned out to be not so great as I initially expected, but yeah, anyways, you have some wooden wall panels, or they're not wood but they're supposed to imitate wood, along the bottom of the wall with these trimmings, but due to the amount of panels here, it's hard to really line up the things. So, but it doesn't look too bad though. It could have been worse. And also I've just put the panels up randomly, but I've seen it better, to put it that way, meaning that some of these panels aren't quite 100%. Some of them have warped a little bit, and I've used the worst pieces on the sides, but this time I think I have mixed them a little bit, and now they kind of sort of look misaligned. Anyways, get this pitch back on there. And I also made this wooden floor imitation thing, but as I said, the cardboard panels have actually warped a little bit. They look better once I have stuff put on here to keep the weight down on certain places, but without anything displayed on there, this is how it sort of looks, because the material is plain and simple too weak for this project. Probably shown you this before. I'm using magnets. They come on this roll. Just cut them off with scissors and attach them. Now, as you can see, probably not, but hold on a second. See if I can use a better piece. If we... oh, damn it. If you look here, this is the type of cardboard I'm using. They have this middle rippled section, and I cut the panels that way so they're always going with the horizon, and there's a reason for that, because I also did this little tiny custom piece, which the camera won't focus on. Come on, here you have it. And the intention with this piece is to put it in the right way, is to, oh my god, let me take this other piece that it's intended for, and you slide it into any of the holes depending on how high up on the wall you want the piece, like that. And now when I put this back, everything just snaps in place nice and easily. I add this final panel. Do it quick and dirty here. So there's a little bit of a gap between the two panels here, but anyways, can't put I can't put a nail through this cardboard stuff. It just won't hold. So that's why I made this piece. Now that I can hang that painting I did, or I didn't do the painting no, but I just turned it into a painting. This is an image painted by I can't remember the artist, but he's done it with his mouth or his feet or something. It's a handicapped artist. But yeah, I just taped the string on it. It's supposed to hang on in the middle of it, so it covers the nail. But I had to do it quick on this one. But yeah, now there's a picture on the wall, and I've done this door. I'm gonna put on the knob, and I just got some hinges in the mail today, so now I can. I'm thinking about, I'm going to do a separation wall here, which this door goes onto, so you can open and close it. That's the idea. But since I did this project, I had this worry about finding materials. I need to find this type of cardboard, very thin. It's like 2, maybe 3 millimeters thick, and the only place I've found it so far is amongst the packaging materials when you buy the IKEA D12s, and I can't keep buying IKEA D12s at like 50 to 80 bucks just for the materials. But I found a solution. I went to my hobby store and I bought this what they call, went to Panduro, these quality artist canvas panels, double primed for oil and acrylic paintings. This is what I'm going to use for my version 2 of this, and I've already done the basic works. So let me do a cut here and I mount the other pieces and I show you how they look. Hold on a second. So here's the other set of panels using the canvas boards. They don't go all the way up to the edge there, but it won't be a problem because they're taller than the 1/6 scale figures anyways. But I'm getting away with the lesser boards. There's 2 panels in the back, including the one, or 3 with the one in the middle. I've used 2 sizes here. The ones on the bottom are, let me see. They are 46 by 38 centimeters, and I still had to cut about 1.5, maybe 2 centimeters of each side to make 2 panels fit on the bottom, on the shelf. The side panels, if I can wiggle one loose there, they are 41 by 33 centimeters. Just to be a little bit professional here. Let's see. These are the two types of panels I'm using, and the biggest one or the smallest one are the 41 by 33 centimeters. The biggest one I'm using for the floor are 46 by 38 centimeters. So there you have that. And I'm using the same magnets, but I'm thinking I should probably find something stronger, because these canvas plates, they are more sturdy, but they're more prone to warp, and they're not, you can't find one straight one of these canvas plates. It's impossible, because the intention is to frame them and then they will straighten themselves out as you nail it to a frame or whatever. But yeah, that results in me needing to use stronger magnets. But I can do more with these panels because they are stiffer, they are sturdier, and you can actually screw stuff into this if I'm using the screw, or I screw the stuff to the canvas plates from the back of the plate, because there's like a couple of millimeters between the canvas boards and the metal sheet behind the canvas plates. So there's room for nails and screws in the back there. Then I have this other issue, because the idea by using multiple panels was to have the door, or have a door on one panel that I could move around. And the more panels you have, the more variations you can create. And now I only have this middle section, but luckily, I'm not sure if you put it like that, the door will fit in there. This is not the door I'm intending to use for one of these panels. I'm going to duplicate this midsection panel, and I'm going to craft a door straight onto it, and it won't be possible to open and shut that door. But this door I'm going to put on this separation wall I'm intending to put here, which is going to use magnets, so I can potentially move that wall as I so see fit. But yeah, I found a solution for my cardboard problem, and that's a huge step in the process of pulling off my idea. They're a little bit expensive, but hey, if you want to do it right, you have to put the proper type of effort into it, and as they say, easy come, easy go. and the harder the work, the better the result. I'd assume, but yeah. Anyways, this is the version 2 of my setup, using lesser panels. This is the basics, plain white. Now I can do what I did to the what's now known as the prototype. I can do the same stuff. I'm getting this sheets of pattern stuff. It's for scrapbooking basically. They're like hold on a second, see if I can find an example. Let me see here. I'll just pick a random one. This one I tend to cut out and make several paintings for the stuff, but yeah, these are the sheets I'm using. This one got a pattern on the back, could be used for... Oh, please stand. Could be used for wallpaper. And you can get several different types of designs of these at the Panduro hobby store that I'm buying my stuff from. But yeah, this is the core. Now I just need to add stuff to it. This is what I will run with in regards to my doing photography and stuff in here. And yeah, before I sort of cut it short, I also want to show you this. These are attachments, wall attachments for my cabinet, the one I'm using for my Transformers Masterpiece figures. There was 2 of them. There is supposed to be a midsection here that slides. I cut it and shaped it. I had 2 of these, so I made 2 of these hooks and just attached them by a screw and a nut. And then, as I probably showed you before, I made these curtains. I'm mean with the thread needle, guys. So yeah, I've sewn these curtains. I bought the wooden rod at the hobby shop, as well as these wooden balls or spears or whatever you want to call it. Why can't I have a third hand? And because this wooden rod is a little bit too thin, and I was worried it would crack under the pressure of the screw, I was clever enough to wrap both ends with clear tape, which was not a stupid idea, because the rod actually did crack on both ends, but it will be covered by the curtain. And the loop that the rod goes through, this is supposed to, it's the wrong side though, but you'll get the idea. This is supposed to hang here, and oh man, left right shit. The ball is supposed to be on the other side though, but hold on a second. I'll go over to this side. And I could just hang it over like this, but then I will pull the curtain with me when I draw the curtains shut. So I cut this loop to go just two 2 snips with the scissors, and I pulled oh fuck, hold on. And I pulled that piece under the rod when I pulled the curtains over the rod. So now that hook will pass under this rod and through the curtain and hold the curtain there. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. We humans are only born with 2 sets of, or 1 set of hands, 1 pair of hands. But anyways, this is what I was talking about. Now this hook will hold the curtain as I pull it, and yeah, that's the idea, or that's what it does. And that's the shelf that has been formerly known as my Norte shelf. I had to remove the figures while doing this, while working with this shelf unit. So I'm going to put them back in there, and I'm going to get ready for another review of something I got in the mail today. So stick around, and I'll see you in a little bit, guys. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.